Open the gate, don't be late. Got an 8-second ride that just won't wait. My skirt's turning and my hat's on tight. If I hang on, girl, we'll be dancing tonight. By the way that I walk, I'm a little bow-legged, my mouth's full of jaw. Legs are shaky, my knees are weak. Dust me off, I'll try again next week. Tornado is what I do, and if I hang on tight, I make a buck or two. What I do.
Good evening and welcome to the legendary Gold Coast Hotel and Casino and National Finals tonight. Brought to you in part by Jim Beam, Maker's Mark, Devil's Cut, Pepsi Vodka, Coors, Fort Lee and Cooper Tires, Ram Rodeo, Justin Booth, National Cowboy Museum, The Range 702, Golden Tiger Liniment, Ranger, Montana Silverskins, Resist All Hats, Pepsi, and Boyd Gaming. National Finals tonight with 8-time world champion bull rider Donnie Gay, 8-time world champion cowboy Joe Beaver, and the men and women of the NFL. Sit back, relax, and enjoy National Finals tonight. And now, here's your host, award-winning television personality, Mr. Dan Miller.
Hey! What a great looking group tonight. Welcome to National Finals tonight. Did you enjoy the rodeo tonight? Were you out there at it this evening? We're so glad to have you here with us tonight, and you're in for a good night. Lots of good people back there. We have prizes to give away later on, including this guitar back here signed by George Strait. So we hope you've all entered back there for the prizes we're going to give away. Let's get this evening started off here, shall we? And bring out our co-stars. Both of them are 8-time world champions. Let's get the first guy out here. He's in the bull riding. Donnie Gay, 8-time world champion. Hey, hey.
Oh, no, Little Red. Red Copeland. Little Red's Whiskey River in Fort Worth. I love you.
That was an inside deal, wasn't it? Huh?
Oh, yeah, well, it's been a long time coming.
Good to have you here tonight, Donnie. Good rodeo tonight. We got a good lineup of folks, don't we?
We do.
So we should get to this and get. I saw Joe Beaver back there. He's bearing gifts.
Y'all cannot make fun of me, and we can go on with the show.
Are you sure?
Thank you.
I have a couple of. Now we'll go on and we'll get them later. This guy is also an 8-time world champion. Joe Beaver is here tonight.
Big Joe.
Big Joe. Nice. He put. Oh man.
It was going in.
It was going
She
in.
blocked
I'll
it.
give you that one.
In the hat.
In the hat. Awesome.
You bad.
I didn't reach all them years out of blindness. I can see.
Nice, Joe. Welcome. This Joe is a busy guy because during the days he is roping. And how did it go today?
Today, I got my ass kicked.
Did you?
I did.
In a
fact,
word?
It's healing. This man came up to me today, and I couldn't tell. You know sometimes how you can't tell if they're being trying to be friendly or trying to be a smart butt at you?
Yeah.
And I didn't know him good enough for him to be a smart butt at me. And I didn't think he was my friend. So he waits till he gets me in front of a lot of people. And I'm healing out there at the World Series, you know. So I heal about like most people heal. So he looks at me and he says, "You roping?" And I said, "Yes, sir." "Are you healing?" And I said, "Yes, sir." "Well, how good do you heal?" And I said, "Well, I tell you what. The other 3 events that contain a rope, steer roping, heading, and tie-down roping, I have a back number in. The healing, I don't, so go figure. I don't heal worth a dang."
Hey,
I liked it though. Whenever I don't remember who it was that was laughing at you because you know had a pretty
Jim
ugly
Ross.
had a pretty ugly heel loop, and so he's setting him up on Facebook and everything. He goes, "That wins 6,000."
Yeah, I had to redeem myself.
Looking good. Hey, if you want to join in on the show tonight, we'd love to have you send up a question. We've already got a lot of questions coming in. You can text them to us, and here's the number to do that. It's going to be up on the screen all during this show. It is 702-582-5638 or 702-LUCK. NFT. Send up your questions. We would love to have you do those. Also, as you make your way home or you get back to your computer and you want to check out any of our shows, they're all archived on YouTube. You go for YouTube and you put Boy Gaming Rodeo and you can see all of the shows that we have. How many of you were actually at the rodeo tonight? Very many of you this evening? So that means you weren't watching it on television and seeing and hearing these two handsome
Oh, you missed it.
old timers. So let's, what we've done is put together a highlight reel of performance getting down to the wire now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some things happened tonight that really affect this
Gold
world
buckles
title.
are starting to make them blow their dresses.
Bareback
Little
riding,
bareback
Donnie.
riding. Okay, you know, whenever gold buckles are on the line, the cream rises to the top most of the time. Casey Field, Cool Water is just a nice horse. He makes a really good, really aggressive ride. You know, we're in round 8.
Yep.
You know, these bareback riders, they take more physical punishment than any event in the rodeo. Look at this guy. I mean, we're talking rareback. Am I sore? Not. Casey Field is trying to get him the gold buckle, and that's what he does. 83.5 points, first place.
Hunter Cure tonight. This very seldom do horses get better as the week goes on. This horse has gotten better and better each night. Tonight was a round of pretty strong steers, tough steers. They don't kick when they hit. Watch the difference. See this horse run by? When Hunter makes his move, the horse speeds up. His feet hit good. He's got his right leg out in front, head over the hip. When he hooks the nose, cracks the whip, 3-8 wins the go-around. In the team roping, finally, Colby Lovell. He heard the big pop, and it came out tonight, 4-2. Martin Lucero, the coolest cat healing. No kidding, he's made about 5 out of 7 runs right down the arena and not got to turn in. Tonight, Colby Lovell finally lets his horse break flat. He's out over his horse when he throws. When he hooks it on him, Martin says, "Oh, I remember how to do this. I hadn't got to do it much this week." He turns in. He gets his separation on the big hop, and watch how fast he comes tight. See him pulling backwards on that steer. Let Colby get faced at the wall. They win a go-around. Go Madisonville.
Okay, talking about winning a go-round saddle bronc riding, the Wright brothers, they're still in Las Vegas. Good bucking horses tonight. This is what they wanted to ride. Last night they had the eliminators. Everybody was out of time. Jake Wright, Sundance, teams up, 85.5, last guy out. They were trying to give the buckle away, but couldn't do it. Jake Wright, watch him with the leg extension and setting his feet before the bronc's front feet hit the ground. This is saddle bronc riding, why they call it the classic event in pro rodeo. Reach and set 'em. Marty Woods would be proud.
In the tie-down roping, the last person to win an all-around championship other than Trevor Brazil, bam, right there, the dairy farmer from Georgia. Ryan Jarrett gets him one swing down like Cody O. Here's the deal, I've said it all week. If you handle your slack and turn them around, time fast. Now, that is the fastest time ever from the belt. Watch Ryan, he ropes him, holds the slack out wide, turns him around, but look, he doesn't have his string in his mouth. Watch him from the belt, and he's got him strung just as fast as everybody else. Does that work for everybody? Should you try that at home? Probably not. It's
Look
not
like
near as
Liberty
easy as it
Balance
looks.
quick draw.
Yeah, he come from the hip. If he ever wants your money and he reaches for a gun, get out. Who'd have thought this? The Taylor Jacob and the Sherry Service Show.
I'm telling you, Sherry Servey, just watch her hands whenever she's riding this horse. She rides as well
Watch
as
this.
anybody I've ever
He
seen.
wants to hit the second
He's
barrel.
trying to run over it, but she just rides him out of it, doesn't panic. And, you know, you can do those kind of things when you've been
You
here as
talk
many
about in
times.
the
on his-
bareback riding and bronc, you can't be leaning and back and forth. Same thing in the barrel race. She's squared away, wins the day money.
Okay, bull riding, I got to say, they had the rank pin out. The bulls didn't buck worth a darn, but we had an ugly bull riding, but somebody's got to win the money. Guess who it's going to be? He's riding him perfect. I don't know why he got out there, but he had to wait for the last second and a half, and that cost him about 5 or 6 points. He's making a good bull ride. Watch this. Gets inside to spin. This bull walking on his front feet, Jim Kenny bucking bull. Really strong, moving ahead. Cody Teal is riding really good, got some real sore hip flexors. Now watch this. This will be get him back on the ice packs. He's saying, okay, that's 7 seconds. I got to hang. It's gold buckle time.
He was right. At
Don't
6'9",
turn loose.
At 6'9", he was wrung out.
He was wrung out, hung out to dry, but you know what? He just didn't turn loose. You know, and that Dan Willis thing, that time to try, time to fly.
That was a time to try.
Smart bird knows when. Cody Teal, he's got one world buckle because he's the reigning champ of the world. Did a great job tonight, just gutting it out.
2 rounds lately too. I mean,
Well, he's moved into second place. Now he had going in tonight, $50,000 in between the J.W. Harris and him. But he's number one in the average. Got a bull on everybody. But then there's J.W. There's the 2011 world champion Shane Proctor. They're right there. But you know what? The drama continues.
It's a 10-header. I reminded Cody Olds at it tonight. He said, I got to win around. I got to do that. It's a 10-header.
Those bull
We're
riders.
here till Saturday night, aren't we?
I'm going to gripe at them. I said, I think they'll ride 4 bulls. Well, they had 4 bulls rode until one of them took a re-ride and gave it away. I mean, it was only a 43-point score, but he had won $8,000, more than the go-rounds paid when I was here last.
For 43 points, I'd have took it.
I'd have took it.
When were you here last? That's been a while, hasn't it?
Abe Lincoln told us last night.
1985.
80. Oh, that's just like
Hey,
yesterday.
where's
the first time it was
Didn't
here.
you hear Abe Lincoln last night?
Yeah, yeah.
Abe Lincoln came on stage last night, and he knew all the same people Donnie knew.
Yeah,
Thank
I mean,
Donnie
that
for
guy, he
voting
cracked
for
me
him.
up. He stands out there. I think he's going to be real nice. So I shook his hand and said, hey, buddy, glad you came on the show. And I handed him my microphone. I gave him my microphone where I couldn't talk anymore. You know what he says?
That's a first
He goes,
also.
He goes, I gotta thank Donnie Gay for supporting me. He's done it twice. The first time's when he voted for me in 1860. And I was like, oh, God.
We've got a question that's come in already. Let's just jump on this one. How long do the rough stock contestants have to accept or decline a re-ride option?
Until the next bull bucks.
And that's it.
That's it.
That's why everybody wants to judge them when they take re-rides. Well, they don't
You-
have all day to think about it.
You have to already have your mind
Yeah.
made up and know what's in the re-rides and be able to just give them that answer. I'll give you an example. Parker Bredding, he got a re-ride option tonight. I think he won, second? Okay, that's $14,000. He actually was thinking about it. And they said, well, the re-ride, they have an order. The Cowboys don't know what the order is. They know what the re-rides are, but they don't know which one they're going to have. Well, that way they can't just, get the re-ride that they want. So he asked, and the first re-ride, he'd already been on him. So they have to drop to the second one. He didn't like the second one. He said, I'll keep my score. So I'm thinking, he's a rookie, but he used his head.
Yep, made some money tonight. There was a few things that didn't go well this evening. We put together a little rec tape. The bareback riders are sore, Donnie, and youth is a wonderful thing. Let's take a look at
Well,
this.
they helped Casey Coletti out of the arena the first 2 go-rounds. Then he wins a couple of go-rounds. Then he draws my dad's horse, Assault. This horse, I think he's been the toughest horse in the entire rodeo twice.
Look at that kick.
I'm talking, and this horse bucks almost like a bull sometimes because his back, he's got belly rolls. The rigging is going from side to side, turns him every which way but loose. They made a movie out of that kind of stuff. But boy, I tell you, Casey Coletti has just been taking a beating. And even when you win first, you saw Casey Field in that slow motion replay, you are taking a pounding every time you stick your hand in the rigging. Austin Foss, watch this. He's trying to make a ride. This kid is big and tough. He's out. I mean, the lights are on, but there ain't nobody home, I promise you.
And that is a big gray horse. Huge. He was out before he ever hit the ground. Look at him. He's limp.
I mean, he hits it. That's totally unprotected, and we're glad he's okay. But it's like car wrecks. Sometimes the most horrific-looking ones don't result in bad injuries. And then here's the bucking bull of the year. You talk about a blowout. Trey Benton III, you just can't do anything about that. I mean, this bull has got so much power. I mean, he's blown out of there like a penny piece of bubble gum, and he can't. All you do is pick up your rope and go get out of the way. Come back tomorrow.
Fast. Leave fast before they make you do it again.
Guys, let's get wait, we've got one more question. I was going to get our first guest out here. What role do Canadian rodeos have in the PRCA, either one of you?
The Canadian rodeos that are approved by the Canadian Rodeo Cowboys Association they're co-sanctioned with the PRCA. So when you win money up there, the points count, and it's equal to American money. Ours used to be worth more than theirs, but it's the other way around now.
But it wasn't like that. I mean, you was rodeoing, but now we can go to the Canadian finals too. So it gives guys 2 finals to go to. A lot of people
Y'all can go to theirs?
50 or 60,000 before it ever come down here. I think Lisa Lockhart won 60 grand up there a couple weeks ago. So now guys go to a lot of the co-approved rodeos because it counts both ways.
Okay. Appreciate the question. Let's get our first guest out here. We've been trying and trying to get this young lady out here, but she keeps winning and winning and winning.
We might be her good luck charm.
I think so. I'm anxious. She just set the arena record. Would you welcome Taylor Jacob here to the show? Taylor.
All right, got to get her pretty face out here on the stage.
Sit right next to old Big Joe there. How exciting to have you on here, young lady. Pretty good week so far, huh?
It's been very good, very good.
We started talking about you the very first night because between you and Sherry Servey, and Sherry, I told Donnie tonight, is so consistent. She has been in that 1371 to 1376 to and then something you figured out that first night, you and Joe were talking about. What is it that you saw that has changed things for you?
Well, after the first 2 rounds when I hit those barrels, I think I'm using it to my advantage at this point because I'm able to go out there every night and just try to win the round. And whereas Sherry is kind of looking at that average and really just trying not to hit barrels and get a little bit of money every night. So I'm just trying to use that as to my advantage as much as I can, and I'm just going for it every night.
And going for it is an understatement. You set the arena record here, which is 1337. Incredible run for her. And this
not
horse.
just break the record. We're talking about blow the door off of the barn.
Just take the record and annihilate it. And we talked about it the other day. We did an autograph deal together, and we were visiting. She said, I watch it. Somebody asked me, am I learning anything out here? And I kind of was wondering the answer, too, and I was waiting. She said, well, yeah, I'm not going to hit any more barrels. I've watched Sherry Servey. I'm going to go to winning. Wins the round that night. I mean, you got to, the minute you stop learning and you stop being a student of the game, the minute you stop progressing. And look at the results now, $80,000 later, she's kicked him a new spot.
And we have to talk about, last night, Taylor, we started talking about nobody wants to feed a barrel racer's horse because it's a scoop of this and 2 scoops of that and all this.
She might be the worst.
No.
I am.
Tell us
Look
about
out
your
there.
horse.
Okay, well, he doesn't like eating supplements, right? So I have to liquefy all of his supplements, put them in a syringe, and then squirt them down his throat twice a day.
Terry,
then she walks
my
him
wife
about-
Terry is getting worried about having to, get oatmeal and stuff to feed me. I'm getting salt.
Well, now we know what to do. We'll just mix it all up in
hold it
liquid and
down,
squirt it in him somewhere.
Twice a day.
Twice a day. He doesn't like it. He's gotten to where he knows it's coming and he dreads it. But I just got to keep him healthy and feeling as good as he can. So
How old is he?
he's 8.
And I'm going to tell you a little secret. When did you get him? Last what?
This February will be 2 years.
Okay, so the fall, in the last winter when he was still running kind of green and still going to some little deals, trying to get him locked in, and stuff. I'm going out of arena one day and she's coming in with these pop-up barrels and she's got different stuff all on his head and her mom's got one barrel going that way and I said, good day today, huh, Taylor? It's going to be. We got to fix something. So it wasn't like he was a bought, push button, go, hang on, and go win. I mean, they've made him. They brought him along. She's done a good job with him. But once you figure him out and get him like that, too, the buttons to push yourself. And hence this week, you can start by knocking 2 barrels down and not be in a panic. Because once you fixed it, the results have been great.
Yes, sir. That was actually before I went to Fort Worth. I won Fort Worth, but beforehand, it wasn't good at all. And I went in there not confident at all, but it ended up working out pretty good.
Got a question for you. When you were high school rodeoing, we've heard some Taylor Jacob stories in the bull rider locker room because Trey Benton was high school rodeoing, college rodeo.
You could have brought that out a little different to make that sound a little bit better.
We talk about girls occasionally in the locker room.
No couth on that side of the table, except for Dan Miller. Okay, sorry, Taylor.
But I got to ask you, when you were high school rodeoing, what were your dreams? What were your goals? Were you really thinking that that's where I'm gonna be, or that's where I hope to be, or what was it back then? I mean, because if somebody would have opened up my head when I was 7 years old, bulls would have run out. So.
At that point, I wanted to be here. I knew I didn't have the horse that I needed to be here, and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to go to school, and I'm going to just keep looking. And that's exactly what I did. I just kept looking until I found that horse that I thought could bring me here. And it's...
That's not all you did. Tell him. This girl can rope. Like, not a little bit. I'm talking about kick your butt rope breakaway. Like, wins a lot. Made the college finals twice before the barrel race.
Yes, sir.
With a what? A rope.
A rope.
A rope. So she had rodeo on her mind, but I'm going to tell you, the roping part was, I think that made up for not the good horse.
Everybody
didn't it, for a
does
while?
know she's from Texas, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I did. When I didn't have a good barrel horse, I was roping, and I still love to rope. I still rope while I'm at home, and I go to the amateur rodeos, and I rope as much as I can.
And all that time, have you got it, or you have to walk to get it?
No, I have it. It's just cold. And
She's got a little old ring that it's easy to get. You just go over there and roll and show up every now and then. But it's a graduate ring from Texas A&M University.
Yeah.
That isn't
Not only beauty, but brains along with it. That's unusual.
That's not like where me or Donnie would have went to get
That
our
ain't
ring.
no lie.
We want to take a look at you at work here. I wanted to just check, since they were talking. None of the girls get together and talk about Donnie, do they?
We haven't yet. But we might now.
You are terrible.
I was just
Thank you
confirming
for
that.
being so nice.
Yeah. So
That's
let's
the first
take a
time
look.
anybody's been that way.
Let's take a look, Taylor, at you setting the record on your horse here. This is the 1337.
This is by far the best first barrel I've had all week, and then the second was close, real close. The third, I just didn't want to hit it, and I really used my outside rein right there to keep him off of it. Somebody asked me what I thought about it, and I said it was a borderline train wreck, but that's what you have to do to set records.
Most borderline train wrecks are the fastest. And here's the deal where you got to pay attention is when you thought you were going to hit it right there, instead of just sitting down and leaning like sometimes you might think about doing, you stayed square, pushed him by one more little jump. Then right here, watch left foot. Watch the left foot finish him right there, people. Sends him straight to the alley because he'll blow off a little bit every now and then,
He will.
which a lot of them do. They're trying to turn to get home. But when she brings her
I
left
love
foot,
to watch him run out, because about 3 strides before the flag man, I mean, he's accelerating still. But on one of the nights that you won, he slipped pretty bad, pretty obvious on that
was
second barrel.
Last night. Mhm.
Did you? I mean, how did you worry about your horse then, or what'd that feel like?
I didn't like it by any means, but I've learned that I can kind of make little mistakes and still place or win.
he'll run you out of it.
Yeah.
He'll run,
Yeah.
just like you're talking about home. I've seen him run her out of it 2 or 3 times, getting a bind or kind of slip or maybe almost hit one, and you think, and then right about there, you realize he's fixing to run back into it, and he'll run out of that arena and run her into money.
What I wonder, Taylor, is because it is hundreds of seconds out there, and you've done it hundreds of times, can you feel when you're in one like that run, did it feel faster to you when you set the record?
I knew that one was pretty dang good. The night before, I ran a 4.7.
We could tell you dropped your range and you were doing this going down the alley.
Yeah, I was pretty pumped.
You can't. I think we've got last night's racked up here, so let's take a look at that because you were talking about just that little slip, and I think the guys have got that pulled up for you. Jason, let's run that, Mark.
That's the first. He's really gotten to where he goes in there and hunts the first, which he didn't the first few nights. And then right here, see how his butt kind of got too far up underneath him? But he just kept going, so it was kind of okay. And right, like you said earlier, he didn't quite get all the way up in there on the third, and he pulled out of it a little bit.
And just 13:47. Damn, he could have made it a lot better run than that.
Unbelievable. And what we did do, Taylor, we've got tonight's run so we can see you at the best and then
So
something
we can
tonight.
see what not to do
Yeah, I
tomorrow
agree.
and
I
Saturday.
agree.
Let's watch.
Okay.
So if you guys have tonight's run back there, Mark, let's take a look at that.
He has got to where he hunts the first
Oh
barrel.
my gosh,
And, you
almost
know,
a little too much. It's
Explain
a little scary.
that.
a few
Explain
months
that,
ago, when
Joe.
he leaves the alleyway, people, his ears and his front end, he's going towards the first barrel when he leaves the alley. A lot of horses are running down the middle of the arena, not looking for it. Ooh.
That's
just
is
bad
that just,
writing
is
on
that
my
just
part
like
right
a
there.
half a stride
I'm
short
not
of
being
him?
ugly because she knows I love her, but that's a little pilot error because when he made his move, he suckered you into doing it too, didn't he?
If like on the second, you can see where I lean down and put my hand down, and then on the third, I'm ticked at that point, and you can see me sit up and with my hips and everything. So that's just really kind of my fault.
Let's
With your
see it
hips
one
and
more
everything.
time.
A lot of times I watch barrel racers.
Watch his
hands,
watch.
but-
See how he's looking for the first barrel. He runs in there, and when she gets a hold of him, he's already got his ears pointed. He's looking for it. Good job with the leg right there.
Yeah. Okay. And see how my body just leans
Watch right here.
forward, and I drop to one hand. That's just my butt's up in the air. It's just terrible.
Yeah. It's hard to look cool winning go-arounds when you are rocked into the front. Now watch this. She realized what she did. And you can see right there she's totally disgusted. Now watch. See her pick herself back up,
And my
line
hips,
everything up.
Yeah.
Yep.
My hips, my shoulders, everything.
Yep. Stay square and bring him right on back around headed towards home instead of wide too. So all we got to do is fix that one little thing tomorrow.
Yep. And lucky for me, we get to get in the arena in the morning, so I'm going to remind him and myself how to not hit that barrel.
Do you spend much time when you go in early in the mornings? Do you run them much, or you just kind of walk, trot, and make them go a little further past the barrel? Because it looked like, to a non-barrel racer that like where his front legs were on that run versus the other two that I just watched, it just looked like just a little about that far. His front feet were here instead of here as he started his turn. And, so you worry much about making your horse go a lot like freeing up a horse that's wanting to stop too quick in the calf roping.
Something that's different about me with my barrel horses, prior to this, I didn't go in the arenas at the rodeos. I've been in a few times, and I think that just gives them a little bit of time to look around. But I figured I'd better take advantage of it, of being able to get in the arena and tune on my horse. So when I do get in the arena, I don't do anything drastic at all. I walk and trot and just
Put him back in the right place.
yeah. I just put it back in the right places, and it's both for me and him. And he's super smart, so I don't have to be aggressive or anything like that. I can just show him twice, and he knows.
What have been your feelings of coming into your first NFR, excluding the barrel race? Your thoughts of the whole
whole
experience
thing, Vegas.
of just
And we
being
talked
here,
about this
rolling
for
into
the whole
town
thing.
all the way out here from Texas. It's a nice little drive. I did it myself. So.
Coming into town was just something that, I got a little teared up just because that's what I'd been working for all year long. And then the grand entry was, I'm not an emotional person at all, and I got emotional with that too, just because it's everything you dreamed of. This is what I've worked for, and for it to all come together and for there to be so many people and so much money, it's amazing.
Every year, Taylor, there's somebody that just stands up head and shoulders, catches everybody's attention, and it's you this year, and it's an exciting
It's just because
thing.
I've been throwing you out there every night.
It's good. Taylor Jacob, give her a hand, would
Big
you
round of
please?
applause. Wonderful lady.
Awesome.
We're going to talk about her more in the locker room, probably. All right.
If Trey
Nice.
Benton keeps flying through the air with the greatest of ease like that, they're going to talk about him.
She's going to have to tune up on his riding a little bit. Yeah.
Isn't that exciting, though? It just is for her. I'm just
I
very excited.
remember of all the things that I won, the first NFR that I went to in Oklahoma City, go rounds paying $429 for first. That was the most exciting time of my entire life, period.
Yep. It is emotional for her, and
I
even,
did not tear up, though, the first one I
Well,
went to.
no. But last night,
I did
he
after I bumped
tear.
off my first one and my daddy got through chewing me out.
Donnie didn't tear up last night, but he got up on stage with Ricky and the Red Streaks and sang, and the whole audience was crying. It was a beautiful thing to see last night at the Riviera.
They're actually still in town.
He can still do it, buddy.
I did not know it.
Yes.
Donnie's there supporting him. That goes back a long way, huh? I'm anxious to get this next guy out here. I like this guy a lot, and he's a two-time world champion, and he's out here busy. He's doing stuff. I think he's the best team roping teacher in the world, especially for guys like me. He's a great guy. We're anxious that he's made time for us. Walt Woodard is here, two-time world champion healer. Walter, would you come out here and see us?
In the house. And he's now a Texan.
Have a seat right there, Walt.
Thank you.
Now, I like the fact that, I don't know if Donnie told you he paid $600 for his glasses, Walt, but you've got yours in your pocket there just in case.
I do. I spend a lot of time looking for my glasses.
It's good to have you back, and it's good to have you here in Las Vegas. Walt is a great story because he first won the World Championship in 1981,
Yes,
and
sir.
then 26 years later, he did it again in 2007. And the other great news is you're going to get back at it. Tell us that process, Walt, why you're going to compete again next year.
I've tried to get over it. I really have. I've tried to stop competing. I just can't. I mean, I don't know. I've never toyed with drugs, but heroin is. I just cannot get the rodeo business. I have a desire to compete against people that are better than I am. I mean, I think all of us do. I think when we were kids and we had a foot race and you outrun a guy, you wanted to race him again, but you spotted him a distance, you know, and if you outrun him, you give him a little more. And just roping against the guys that we rope against, they're just phenomenal. I mean, they're so good. My son, they rate you from a 1 to 10, and my son's a number 10 roper, and I'm a number 10 roper, and we lived in California. They named babies after us. We were famous. I mean, we did interviews. We were famous out there. We moved to Stephenville, Texas. We went to 5 open ropings, and neither one of us placed one time. We never won a go-round. We never won fifth, nothing. And we got in a truck in Stephenville, Texas, and he slammed the door, and he said, "You sure we should live here?" And I told him, I said, you know, at my age, I don't know if I should, but I'm telling you, if you live on the West Coast and you let these Texans rope against each other, they'll beat your brains out. They think this is normal the way they rope. They don't know they're freaks. I mean, they're just...
You know, and that's what's interesting, Walt, if you were still in California and had not made that move there, being in Stevensville's got to be, I would say it's got to be encouraging to do that because you see the competition.
Discouraging, he said discouraging.
It's intimidating.
Yeah.
Because a guy like this with the winning desire he has, and that's curious that you say that. I'm curious because we had this conversation at Pasadena, Texas, sitting back with Trevor, and you know, he said, "I just don't think I'm going to go next year. I don't think I'm going to go and compete." And I rode away from there thinking to myself, that's such a crock. Because he has got so much desire to win. If you ever get a chance to hear him when he does his talks, you know, go listen to it. He gives the talks about, that's desire from inside. And you don't take that away with age. You don't take it away with injuries. You just take it away when you finally decide you don't want to compete. And that was in September, and here we are December. Look, he got back to Stephenville, decided he could still beat him. It is still burning in him. Hence, he's going to go do it again.
Well, I can tell you that the one thing that excites me about Walt Woodard more than anything is he helps. Whenever I say winning is not in your pants, it's in between your ears. And here's a guy that championed the world in 1981. So was I. We were kings in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, I was going to say, they never named nobody after Donnie. That's for sure. If they did, he was the bad boy in the bunch.
But, you know, well, they had a song boy named Sue. So, you know, but Walt Woodard won that next world title, not because of he doing any drastic changes or anything. He just believed he could do it, and he did it. And I was so pumped. I was so proud, you know, because he's my friend.
Yep. Well, you were here after you won that last one with us, and we talked about that next year. After winning that second buckle, hard to get back out there and go down the road again. Now, and you're going to start writing at Denver and Fort Worth, or
Yes.
when you,
Yeah, I had given so much in 2007. I was runner-up in 06, and then I was one in 07. And I honestly I was give out in 08. I just couldn't. I had run so much and dieted so much and studied film so much. I just couldn't. I mean, and it sounds silly because I grew up shoeing horses with my dad. You know, I mean, I know what hard work is, and to say you're exhausted and you can't do it, but I was just mentally give out. I should have taken some time off, but you know, I mean, the astronauts that landed on the moon and walked on the moon, they all had trouble when they come back to Earth. All of them. There was only one that had a normal life, and he spent his life looking for Noah's Ark. And he had I know, I mean, what could be better? But I mean, the rest of them had trouble because they asked him, you want to go on a trip to Niagara Falls? I've been to the moon. I walked around on the moon for a while. So after you've lived this lifestyle, man, it's hard to just go home and walk around without a goal and without
You
a
ain't
cause.
kidding.
Yeah, with something. All these guys know that. Donnie I know all these guys. I've seen them do things, but I was at North Platte, Nebraska, and I was, a young guy, and they used to have slack in a bull riding, and it was 7 o'clock in the morning, and there was 16 bull riders before they team roped, and bulls don't buck in the morning. I mean, they put bad bulls in the slack in the old days, and there was 15 bull riders turned out, and Donnie showed up and got on. And he was at 7 o'clock in the morning. I mean, I wouldn't ride a bull at 10 o'clock at night.
Bulls for breakfast. That was. I thought, what am I doing? Okay, we're gonna win something.
That's not what he was doing. He was soaking wet and sweat at 7 o'clock, and it's cold in North Platte. And he was jumping up and down. And I told this guy I was roping with, I said, that's what a winner does right there. I mean, 15 guys turned out, and this guy shows up and gets on. And I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I've seen Joe do and Donnie do, and that's what motivates you.
And tell them who you're going to rope with this next year?
I'm going to rope with a guy named Aaron Sinigini. He just won the U.S. Open. He roped with Clay Cooper last year and roped great.
Yeah. I tell you what he did. He got a good horse.
Yeah.
Aaron Sinigini roped good, but he got this bay horse. He has stepped his game up immensely. Now, let me tell you what's going to make that a dangerous team. If he will listen to the winning ways and the thought process of this man, he'll be here next year easily. That guy's got all the talent in the world. He needs a little bit of refinement.
But that's not all it takes.
No, that's why I'm saying if he'll listen right here, and just like with Cleo, he started opening the champ. He started winning. A guy like that needs a guy like this, and when it balances out, that could be a great year.
Well, I got to execute. I got to do my job. I mean, he's a star, but I mean, there's no guarantee against these guys.
What I want your schedule, Walt. So what for next year? You're the busiest teacher. You're going to coordinate. Are you still going to be doing that?
I do. I did 50 roping schools one year. I mean, that's just, I know, that's one a weekend. And then I have a training center in Stephenville that I work at. So I'm going to cut that down. I'm only going to do about 20 clinics, and I'm going to separate them. What makes the rodeo business hard is like Tucson has a finals. So you can't block a weekend off just in the event that you make the finals at Tucson. And then if you don't make it, you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs and you're not working. So I'm going to try to stagger.
And that's expensive.
The last couple of years that I rodeoed, it was funny because I'd pass Walt in airports because he was the only guy doing his clinics and I did my clinics, and we were still rodeoing. Everybody else, they want to wait till they're completely done and halfway maybe out of the game or don't stay current or forgotten about. Then they want to jump into all these clinics. Well, I watched him early on when I was roping, and I was like, that guy's doing clinics right now, and he's still rodeoing. I may have to be better at less rodeos than the other guys, but I'm going to start doing my clinics, and I started in 1992 or 93 maybe, and I started doing 20 clinics a year and rodeoing. And I never once did I not make the finals because of my business. And it was because I saw this guy in the airports passing him, and I knew he wasn't going to rodeos the same way. So I stopped and I said, Walt, where you been? Oh, I've been back east at such doing a clinic. Huh. And that's when I started doing my business the same way. And the last 2 years I rodeoed, did 20 clinics a year and 75 rodeos.
Right.
Do you know how much effort and work that takes? And this guy is not 22 years old anymore, guys. That's what Donnie's talking about up here. I've said all my life, we compete from here down, and we're pretty much all the same. Some of us got a longer leg, shorter leg, better shape, worse shape, stronger, weaker.
They just won't let up.
Whatever. But we're pretty much all the same. But from here up is where we win. And that's how he can do his business both ways.
I save Wrangler more material than any cowboy going.
I'm going to do a better job because I'm stuck. We all rodeoed with unlimited rodeos. There was a time where you just had an airplane and we just, had a 210 and just followed each other around and just went as many rodeos as you could. And I'm still kind of stuck in that same idea. I tried to do that this year. I tried to go to as many because I didn't start until June. and then I just rodeoed like a wild man. And I just can't, you know, I mean, at 57 or 58, I can't hardly do. I mean, I couldn't do it this year. I need to go to Tucson, rest, and win at Tucson.
Call me, Walter. We just bought a new pressurized turbo
I'm
prop Merlin.
I'm not doing it. I'm gonna win at the rodeo. You know, Roy Cooper told me that one time. We were at a rodeo. I was flying with him somewhere, and I was looking at my watch, and I was with him, and I said, Roy, are we gonna make it? He said, we need to win here. You need to focus on this. I don't care if we make that other one or not. You know, and I'm gonna do a better job this year doing that.
Well, what I think is impressive about both these guys, they're two of the few that are really successful outside the arena. You both have done very well with that, but you're both still, he was roping today, you're going to be roping, and it's our game to watch you guys compete in the roping. What I want to tell you about Walt, you can't see his buckle. He has the same problem Donnie does, but it's under there. What I want to...
Mine's 81. Mine's 81 too. I don't know which
Mine's
one
84.
I don't know which
You know
one
what
Donnie
time
wears.
I
I
said-
used to could see what was on front of it, but now I know who made it. I see what's on the back, you know.
Tom Murray, they did an interview on him one time, and he had to go in his weight room. This is 3-4 years after he quit, you know. And he had to go in his weight room and dust his weights all off. And I said, what'd you do that for? He said, because I hadn't touched them since the day I left Vegas and I quit. And I thought to myself then, I hate weights. I hate weight rooms. I hate all that. So I moved my weight room in my trophy room. For the last 3-4 years, I rodeoed, and I'd go by that trophy room, and everybody wants to see all you won. And you take them in there, and I felt so guilty. I'd sit down at the weight bench and get at it for a couple hours. I don't even go in that room to show people anymore.
What I was going to say about Walt, I've seen him with young boys at a school or whatever, and he takes that buckle out and lets them hold that world champion buckle, and he's just a good guy, great ambassador for the sport, and I think the best teacher out there. But I'm hoping great
Wait a
things
minute,
for
wait a
you.
minute.
Yes,
You got a new, I heard you had a new teaching aid.
time machine.
Yeah, the time machine. Yeah,
He's
it's
the
a-
George Orwell of roping.
Well,
is
it's
what
just
it
a
is.
roping machine that you can't rope out of time. You know, you have to learn how to rope the hind feet when they're back. And all the machines that have ever been out there, the feet are all the way forward, and you can still catch them. And it doesn't work on a steer. And the famous line that a student says is, "Well, I can catch my sled, but I can't catch a steer." And it's because the hind feet are forward and there's nothing to stop them. So we just made a sled. I had a friend of mine that's an engineer, and I explained that to him, and he said, "Well, how come he can't catch a steer when he does that?" I said, "Because he has front legs." He said, "Well, how come we don't put front legs on a steer or on a sled?" I said, "Man, that's a great idea." So that's what we did. So we did, and it's really helped a lot. It helped the young guys, helped the old guys. Young kids rope each other in the parking lot, you know, and they learn how to time.
I'm glad you said that. I'll buy one now.
Yeah, you betcha. But older people, they need something like that, and it's helped a lot of people. It's really cool.
Well, for all of us, I'm glad you're going to be roping next year, and I look forward to watching you, and I wish you the best of luck. And class act, Walt Woodard, would you
Thanks.
give him a
Thanks, I
hand?
appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Walt.
Thanks, Joe.
I told you best doing that. Now you see a different part.
I know.
Different part.
I like it when one of my heroes comes to town.
Yep. Yep. He's his articles that he writes, his talking. He's just a good guy. We've got this question, and I want to.
I did.
Yeah. Go ahead and read the question there, Donnie.
Okay, we feel Wade Sundell's markout was fine, and how can it be changed because it means so much? I've advocated for years. If anybody remember Derek Clark used to ride Saddle Broncs,
Yep.
I thought they screwed him out of 3 national finals average titles, getting them at the gate. You know, that's like a football referee, you know, throwing the flag on interference. You know, usually doesn't cost you the game, just some field position. But right here, Bobby Moat has a chance to really compete, really push Casey Field for a world title. They get him at the gate. Basically, he's out unless something really strange would happen. You know, and I feel like I used to say when I first started announcing the reason for the markout rule is that you give the animal the advantage because you have to put your feet up there. Well, that's a lie.
It's a whole lot harder to go from here, isn't it?
You have an advantage if you spur the horse out and your feet are up there and you're solid when you leave the chute. So it's an advantage for the cowboy to mark the horse out perfectly. But when a horse rears out or jumps to the front and then comes out real fast, and you got your feet up there, but his head turns and knocks your foot away, you can have your feet over the front of the shoulders the first jump out of the chute, but if your spur's not touching them, you can get a 0.
Do you want to see it from tonight? We've got it if you want to
Do
look
you
at
have it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's roll it. You know,
Tonight.
because I did think that he
Tonight.
missed the horse out because Watts, whenever he puts his foot up there, he's got him marked out, but before that horse finishes coming down, his right foot comes down.
Let's back it up and
Back
slow
it up
down,
and do that
guys.
again and slow it down way slow.
Slow it down, Mark, when they...
Right
That
out of
horse was fast in slow
right out of the
motion.
gate, but
Back
that
it up.
quick jump, great ride, but that's the way the rules are. So, you know,
Being way
it
rules
is,
said
there it
yes.
is,
Watch.
okay, watch his right foot come down, right? A split second before that horse completes that first jump, and that's what the rule says. That's how the judge. If the judge doesn't throw the flag and his administrator sees it, and they run it back in the room, next year he won't be judging the NFR. So he has no choice. He doesn't want to get Wade Sundell. He's not trying to get it. He's trying to enforce the rules. It's down. It's it's no score.
He missed him
I
out.
don't think they need the markout rule. They don't even need to tell anybody. Just give them the score. I mean, to me, if I'm judging and I don't have the markout rule, I give more points because he starts them out. You should start them out marked out. You know, I'm going to judge, I'm going to include that in my ride, my spurring score because, that's part of spurring, just the stroke, the mark out. But that's one of those things that you can argue from now till eternity, and everybody's got an opinion and entitled
Okay, no,
to it.
We appreciate the question. Mark, you guys, thanks for pulling that up. We're going to move on here. Good for pulling that up. Let's get these two young men out here.
It's past their bedtime.
It is past their bedtime. By golly, one of them's only 19 years old. A couple of bull riders in the hunt for the Rookie of the Year this year. Donnie wanted them to come on, and these are good young men. Cooper Davis, Elliot Jacoby. Gentlemen, come in the house here. Give these
Two
guys a
Texas
hand, will
bull
you?
riders in the house. Oh yeah, that's Cooper. That's Elliot.
Welcome, gentlemen. It's good to have you here this evening.
Yes, sir. Good to be here.
Is it more scary being on a bull or being sitting in front of these lights with a microphone?
Definitely sitting right here.
He knows what he's doing when he's stepping over in the chute. He has no idea what we're going to try to do to him right here.
We thought we'd have you and Donnie sing a little song together, Cooper.
Chances of that are slim to none.
Cooper, you're 19, first time here to this rodeo. I'm going to ask both of you the same thing. Put your feelings, and you've been riding well here. So talk about coming here as 19 years old.
First few rounds, I was really nervous and really didn't know what to expect. But I think now I've calmed down and just having fun and doing what I know how to do.
And it is fun to you now. It's just nerve-wracking the first, because you've been covering some bulls here.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun now. It's just settling down and I guess coming in your own and just doing what you know how to do and not thinking about it too much.
I think that you've covered 4, right, so far?
3.
Yep.
3.
3. And Elliot, talk about you coming in here this to the big show.
Well, I'm 23, so.
A little closer.
I'm 23, so.
Got it now.
Yes, sir. First year to make the NFR. I haven't really rode it a whole bunch, so it's really good just to be here and be a part of this.
We're glad to have you be a part of it. I want to take a look at both of you in action here. And Cooper, let's start with you. This is from round number 3, Donnie. This is an 85.5 point ride. Cooper, will make you an analyst too a little bit here.
Talk about it, Coop. What's your feeling right there?
That's a really good bull around the right and just kind of got a little wild at the end, but they rode him for 88 points somewhere, and I was just really happy to get one down.
Well, this bull turning back into your hand, that's what most riders like. But now the reversal and the way this bull starts jumping backwards here, did this surprise you at all, or had you seen this bull before? And I mean, whenever he starts going backwards, that was wicked.
Yeah, it was really cool. I'd seen him before, and he did that, but I don't know, just trying to ride him jump for jump right there, and it turned out good.
Look at that, going backwards. That's pretty unusual.
That's trying to buck your butt off.
Yes,
is what
sir.
that
That's
is.
pretty unusual
Yeah.
right there. It's a really good bull ride, and when you come out, you've ridden 3, Elliot, you've ridden 1. Obviously you're disappointed. You like to win more, but the National Finals Rodeo is a little different deal. You know, just like tonight, rankest bulls in the world, I thought they were horrible. They didn't buck anything like they have all year long, and the same thing happens to them as happens to bull riders. And you know, we said in the locker room, your impression, tell me what you think about the atmosphere of the bull ride and how it's different here than, say, Dalhart, Texas, and going, you know, in between Dodge City and going to rodeos daily and riding versus riding daily here with everything going on.
Well, it's a lot bigger here than rodeos you go to. You know, you've been going to rodeos all year long, and you kind of just don't think about it. You show up and do what you're supposed to, and when you get here, you should do the same thing, but I guess the atmosphere and all the people and cameras and everything may get to you a little bit, but I mean, it shouldn't, but I guess it does a little bit.
And you started off well with a ride. Let's take a look at this. This is your in round number 1, Elliot, here for you. Let's take a look at that.
What bull was this, Elliot?
When it kishes,
What a bull.
I can't remember what Don Kish had.
What a Ball, I think.
What a Ball, yeah.
Yes, sir.
And you know that was What a Ball, making a really fine bull ride. First bull, first NFR, and I mean, this wasn't solid. You see his feet. I mean, he's about to get airplaned out of there, but he just guts it out, doesn't let him go, but has enough talent. I mean, it doesn't look like to a novice rodeo watcher that you were in much trouble, but that was a fight to the finish, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. Right around there, I kind of just, I don't know, bulls around the ride, I kind of get in there and try to ride him from the inside out, and he just kind of had me shook loose from the get-go, and I just kept doing Hail Marys to get back over there and hung onto my rope and stayed on.
Oh, you didn't whistle, did you?
Yes, sir.
Donnie, one of these guys is going to be Rookie of the Year this year.
Right now, Cooper, you've got a pretty, I would say, substantial lead, unless, you know, things go awry for you. He wins the next 2 go-rounds. The rookie race, y'all have any interaction about that, or is that just part of y'all making a living all year long?
I think both of us are just happy to be here, and whatever happens, happens, and it's not the end of the world if one of us doesn't win the rookie, but it'd definitely be cool.
The only thing I don't like about you is you've got all that hair and I don't.
You had some at one time.
I was going to say the same thing. The pictures, they don't lie, do they, Coop?
We're going to show you some pictures later on. Yeah, you may want to keep around.
Oh, God.
We're wishing these gentlemen the best. It's important to us their first year here to get them out here and to visit with you and get to know you and watch you at work here. And when I talked to Donnie, he said, I want these young men on here because they're...
I want everybody to, you know, to see what they look like, you know, sitting on a stage, because I can promise you, if they can stay healthy in this business, and there's never guarantees for anybody out there for another day, but especially when you ride bulls for a living, these guys are going to be back.
Please give these guys a hand, will you?
This is the future of professional rodeo and bull riding. Dan, you want to give me that $100 chip that you were going to give to Cooper? Now, he's 22, but now I'll have to go to the cage and
He
get
just
his
made
money.
money tonight. Elliot's going to cash both of them.
Thanks, guys. That's what they need. Is
They took the Coors out of the bull rider room because of him.
They got it all down
I mean,
there.
this world is too politically correct. That is crap.
Yeah, I guarantee you he's got one of the best fake IDs he could buy for this week.
You may want to take them to Ricky and the Red Streaks.
No, they're not ready for that.
Okay, yeah, break them in slow. Let's get these 2 gentlemen out here and talk a little bit of rodeo this evening. Bob Tallman's here. Boyd Polhamus is here. Let's welcome them to the National Finals Tonight stage. Hello, gentlemen.
All right.
Yeah. Gentleman, how are you? Yes. Mr. Haney, it's good to have you with us here from...
I went through.
Go ahead, you broke it already.
Turn
Hello.
Boyd on there.
I
he
went
is.
through puberty tonight in front of 18,000 people.
Just a
I'm
couple
afraid
of
you're going to
times.
have to explain that.
Well, I got really excited in the ride, and I was really trying to sell it. It's the first time in my life it's happened, and I mean that. I mean, I've had times where my voice was hoarse, but but I could always make the sound I intended on making. Tonight, I was selling somebody. I don't know, it may have been, it was in the bareback riding, I think, but I was selling somebody and went, Randy Cordy looked at me and started slapping his leg. He about peed on himself. He thought,
In the suites, the sound is different, you know? I was about to take a bite out of something they give me free, and I went, oh! And I looked at him, and he didn't back up. I thought he stepped on himself or something. I didn't know what it did.
could happen.
I know. And I
happens.
thought, I do that all the time, you know, just because I have no control over what I say or how I say it. And I make lots of strange sounds. My grandkids just think I'm natural that way.
Yeah.
I knew he'd hurt himself, though.
I did. I hurt myself.
I want to ask Univac, our stat
Yeah, I'm
pro
your
here
stat
this
guy.
evening. Steer roping
I
tonight.
know he knows them.
Steer roping. I mean steer wrestling tonight. Casey, implications for that?
Lots of them.
Yep.
Lots of them. He was going to win the world last night if you pay it out. Okay?
I
By
was
3.
going to ask Joe, was that Casey or his horse or the hazer?
It's been happening every night. I've been saying every night, nobody but Martin catches the steer because that horse runs to a point, and he not only steps a little, he lets off when he does it. So Martin has got to be 6'6".
He's the tallest bulldogger here, 6'5".
Okay, then nobody but Martin would have caught steer number 3 and steer number 4 because right when he made his move, that horse is letting up and he's
Quitting him.
stepping wide both.
Why wouldn't you change
I
horses?
would have changed. You know me. I'd have changed. Right off the bat. I'd have been. Somebody would have let you on. There's 14 horses, 12 horses here. Somebody else is gonna let you on. But a lot of times a guy gets set in his ways of. I don't know whether it's pride or comfort zone or whatever it might be. But after about the third steer, I asked Luke Branquino. I said, "Is Martin gonna stay on that horse?" And he said, "What do you think?" And I said, "Not for a gold buckle, he's not." And I didn't mean to jinx him or nothing.
No,
but,
that's it. Look, they've got to make the. I hate that when they come up to you. You jinxed him. I told the truth.
bull.
Yeah, I told the truth. Anyway, yes, it did, Dan. To answer your question, right now, if you pay it out, get a load of this. Gorsuch wins his third world title by $7,000 over Hunter Cure. Okay.
I said that tonight. They're forgetting about him, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They're forgetting about him because he's too far down. The other guy they let sneak back in. Remember when Reeves went out of the average? We thought that dog was over. He would finish second by 8,000. Hunter would only win it by 150. It would be 158 for Dean, 151 for Hunter, and 150 for Matt Reeves. The other one is, and here's the other one people don't know because unless you're watching. If the same thing happens tomorrow night that happened tonight, Shane Hachey ropes one in 9.6, and Scott Cormos ropes one in 7.9. Scott Cormos passes Shane Hachey in the average.
Yes, sir.
And he needs that 8,000 bad because tonight Cody O wins it by 3,000 if we just quit after 8. It's that tight. And the only thing tighter than all that is the team roping. Boo. Miners are the world champions by about 3,000 a man right now. I mean, and then there's Colin Von Ahn and
Shane Hansey's not going to fade. He's got that cowboy scarf on behind the bucket.
But he backed off tonight.
He backed off. He had a calf. They had were 7.9. They had a calf. They were 7.5 on.
And I'm going to tell you something else happening. If he's drawn really, really good, and there's the set of calves that come back last will be the 4th run. Hanchy has had 3 of the best 5 calves on him. So odds are he's going to have something a little challenging.
He listened to Boyd
last
Paul
night.
Amos.
Oh, yeah, they can't have the same one?
He
Okay.
listened to Boyd Paul Amos too much. He was like, you know what? I'm not breaking that barrier. I'm going to win the average, and the average is going to carry me to the world title.
Joe,
And he
we've
roped
got his
safe,
run.
didn't he?
Let's
He
look
got-
at Shane Hancey's
Okay,
run.
let's
Because
watch
he
it.
just
out late
was
as
late.
heck.
Here's
He
the
was
deal.
late.
He is so late right here that he's reaching back, going to whip his horse. This arena doesn't give you time to whip your horse. Now, here's what saved him right here, and this might help later. You see how his horse gets close and's running? This horse is actually going to pull more, back up on the rope more tonight. But when you get a calf at the back end of the arena, if this horse doesn't pull right there, he doesn't get him up time and 9. That's right. So in the rest of the week, what's going to be the problem with him? And let me tell you something else that I love Hanchy. But one year here, he had to just catch the last calf to win the average. He was in the lead to win the average. He had 9 something to win the average, and he was late and missed. So this is exactly, now watch, well, you got all the momentum going of 1,200 pounds a horse, right? You got him running as fast as he can run. You're closing in on the buck and shoots. Now when you rope, you're asking him to quit running, stop all his momentum, and go back the other way and help you. If this horse doesn't pull at the precise moment, which is right now, as Shane steps the calf up, he's 11 seconds right there. Then we got Cormos passing him. Then Cody O's got a door open, and Hanchy's got 2 more to rebound.
Here's what's fun as a rodeo fan, though. Here's what's fun as a rodeo fan. Shane can do math, just like I sat up here and did it, okay? Whether he does or not, somebody's going to do it and tell him, okay? And he ain't holding back. He's got to go. Right now, Cody O's your world champion, Shane. If you want it, you can't just trust for that 48 grand on Saturday night. You better go start pushing to make sure that you're putting pressure on the field and make them beat you. That's what he was trying not to beat himself. Tonight, he needs to make the field beat him. That's what world champions do. You want the buckle? Beat my butt.
And that's why I think, I think he will challenge and try. Now,
you know Cody O's gonna.
You know he's going to, but you know this kid's gotten here and he's won enough, and he's not going to back off. But he has to go out and go. If he wants to be the world champion, you have to go rope like
and
one.
I'm going to tell you something too. Don't think it's not in his mind that the last time all he had to do to win the average was tie one down in 9 seconds.
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't forget that.
And a guy told him that this morning at Cowboy Christmas, and the same thing I told him this morning was this. I said, you cannot safety at one point. If you'd have watched him, run out there again. When he went to whipping that horse, had to sit down on his pockets, okay? Now he's
here's
got
the deal.
totally
If he just-
regroup and go again. Watch how sluggish and sloppy when he flanks his calf. Horse missed him twice. Didn't pull when Joe said. Got to back up and go a little more.
And here's the
critical.
deal, though. If he reaches right there instead of hitting him, then he's got his momentum.
Yep.
The horse stop, pulls on the rope. But you can't ask one to run his guts out that close
So you're
and
saying
stop and get
you're
back.
saying the whip was almost a panic
That
mode.
was just that was ridiculous.
That was a panic
Wasted
instead of
motion.
just.
I'll tell
He
you.
was
that-
afraid he
out of
wasn't going to
sync.
run.
And
that
I'll
was
tell you something else.
I'm late, you know.
I'll tell you somebody who isn't gonna chili, and that's Scott Cormos.
No.
He's not. He's gonna go make the best run on the cafe he's got. No one will make a better one. He's not. He's so. If Cormos goes before Hanchy, I can't remember the order, but let me tell you something now. If let Scotty K go out there and lay one down in 7-2, and somebody back behind the chutes is gonna go gulp.
Tonight, I think what the icing on the was a big break tonight. Cody O has a bad tendency to try to win this thing before the 10th round. And he was in the same old mode as he was a couple years ago when he come across and missed the 8th one, whatever, 9th one. And he was in that mode tonight because he was a little worried about this calf he
This
had.
calf was bad.
Calf wasn't very good, and he was panicked about it. And, man, I got to do this, Joe Bean. I can get it back. I said, Cody, stop. This is a 10-header. And just like that, he looked over at me and he said, I got 3 more chances to get him, don't I? Well, that just meant that he turned it around. The light came back on.
You got to tell him.
Different deal.
You got to tell him to be careful whenever he's pulling his belly back to get to where he can rub that buckle. I'm afraid he's going to hurt himself before the 10th round.
Everybody in this, hey, that ain't funny. I used to be skinny. Everybody in this room over 40, stand up. I bet you got a little of
Everybody
this.
got it. That's right.
Yeah.
We've
You know-
got Cody's run from tonight.
Well, let me
Cody
tell you
O. Let's
another
take a
reason
look
Cody
at it.
O is going to win. Do you see that sorrel mare he's riding? That is the very best horse in this building in the last 7, 5, 8 years.
By a bunch.
You watch with the pull he gets right here. See her pulling on him? Okay, he pulls just enough for Cody to flank this calf. Now, mind you, he's already had her so riled up in the box that she wants to jump out of the box. But when he backs her up in there, she completely freezes. Now, watch. He runs back.
Run.
Now,
That's-
most
there's
of the
the deal.
time, if you got a tie-down horse that you run at, it's for a reason. They done something wrong. And this mare looks at him like, holy, and he says, whoa, Pearl. And she just locks in. He jumps on. That sorrel mare is worth the weight in gold in this arena, and she's going to be the reason he wins the gold buckle.
And he'll tell you that, too.
Yes, this
Okay,
year.
the other thing, though, to me, the one thing about Cody that's different, I mean, and this has always been his gift, just like Joe B. That guy can get it on him quicker than anybody.
It's breakaway roping, and then you just tie him from the post. I've said that all along.
They could get some lessons from Taylor. She could
Yes,
show
they
him that
could.
breakaway.
Yes, I tell you what, some of these guys be better off with Taylor Jacobs roping breakaway for him, and then they run in there flank and tie.
Ribbon roping.
Ow!
Speaking of the barrel racing, Taylor was here is it?
Taylor Jacob. She a gem.
I mean, she was a dog.
Yeah, it's the best thing that ever happened to her is I'm not her age, because I'd be running her like a beagle on a rabbit. You ever see a beagle on a rabbit?
Telling the truth.
You ever seen a beagle on a rabbit? If he catches one, it's fun watching.
Were you here when she was talking? Donnie said they were talking about her.
You just
Johnny
got
says-
the vision, didn't you? You just got the vision.
He said, we were talking about you in the bull rider's room. I said, surely you
I
could have
made
come better with
one
that.
innocent remark.
But I asked her, I said, have you
In
girls
my
been
life.
talking about Donnie? No, not really.
She said, not yet. We might start.
Shania Twain was sitting up to our right while we were announcing tonight. And so Wayne was announcing, and I turned to Corley. I said, Corley, what? I said, man, I need some help. What? Shania keeps staring at me. She's breaking my concentration.
Well, if I can get Cooper and Elliot to keep a secret, I'm going to go back and tell them all in the locker room that the barrel racers are talking about me.
Oh,
But
shit.
he looks better on TV.
The other thing is, here's the other thing, your event. Now,
Hey, this bull riding, it's done a little drama thing, hasn't it?
No, look, Cody's got a bull on J-Dub now.
Right.
Okay, and which gives him the number one spot in the average. If you close it out tonight, J-Dub still wins by about 24,000. But that's if J-Dub stubs and Cody finishes third twice, that's the 24,000.
Well, that's true, and you know, obviously JW needs to ride, you know, 2 more bulls. That makes things, you know, all better and all that. But the other thing that JW has in his favor in this particular setting is Shane Proctor. He bucked off a bull, but if he wins another couple of go-rounds like he did the first 2 go-rounds, you know, and he's a little further back, you know, that lets JW, if he can stay in the average there, you know, there's so many variables.
JW just can't give bulls because right now you're sitting at Teal on 6 of 8, okay? You're sitting with Proctor and Harris on 5 of 8, okay? There is about 4 or 5 guys sitting
Cody
there.
Campbell and
Chandler Bounds and those sitting at 4 of 8, which they don't have a threat to win the world, but each space in the average is worth about 8,000.
And the go-round money, you know, because any of these guys, Cole Eckel hadn't rode a bull yet. He's 0 for 8. But you know what? He could go 2 for 2 and, you know, mess things up a little bit.
Spoilers.
Yeah. You know, so it's not going to be over until the 10th round, and that's the way it's supposed to be.
It's
you know,
exciting
I
stuff.
like it when you run them in the 10th round on Saturday night. Who's best?
Yep, I like it. Would you
8
give
seconds
these
at a
guys
time.
a hand up here? Outstanding, gentlemen. Outstanding, outstanding. We're going to give away some prizes here. Make sure you come the next 2 nights, and we will find out who the world champions are going to be. But right now, we're going to give away some prizes. Here's our rules very quickly for that. We only 1 prize per person. A lot of you have entered several times, and there's nothing wrong with that. 1 prize per person. We're going to go through them quickly. If we call a name and nobody responds, we're going to quickly go on to something else. We're going to start off with the Rodeo Historical Society has been so good to us, and this gift bag, Jackie, they've been great for us. And Donnie, boy, there's a lot of entries in there tonight, isn't there?
Man, this sucker's full.
Give it away, Donnie.
Okay. Julene Chumley, Indiana.
Wow, what part?
She's coming.
What town in Indiana?
Liberty.
Very nice. This is for you.
Well,
I'm a Hoosier.
Isn't
That's why I'm
Cincinnati in Ohio?
You flunked geography.
Yeah, the
it's right down there
chili
close
capital of the
down
world.
there.
Liberty,
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Indiana, and it's by Cincinnati.
How about some Boot Barn gift cards, Joe?
Oh, okay.
How about
I'm
Bo
just kidding.
Loya? Bo Loya. You in here?
You don't have long. Oh, there she is
come on.
coming.
Right there.
Boot barn card.
I've got another one, Donnie. Go ahead and pick one out. He couldn't find the hole. That's, on the drum there.
That's not why the barrel racers are talking about me.
That's right.
Okay. Jeannie Frazier.
Texas, from Douglas, Texas. Right there she is.
There's she coming right there.
Come
All
right
right.
here. This is for the Boot Barn. We now have 3 gift cards from Wrangler that give away as well. Let's have the first
All right,
one,
I got
Joe.
one more. Rick Lewis, Alpine, Texas. All right, come on.
Right there, Rick.
There he is right there.
That's for a Wrangler gift
Wrangler,
card.
Wrangler.
Donnie, we've got two more of them actually. Rick, just come right over here and Joe will hand that to you. Who's next?
All right, this is going to Canada. Dave Garstad, one of the best cowboys in Canada. Dave Garstad, this guy, finalist. Boy, the Garstad family.
Perfect.
When
Coming right
first
there.
time I went to Canada, he and his brother Gid, they showed me
One
how
more, Joseph.
much room I had to grow to be a cowboy. He's all there, Dave Garstad. Y'all
Nice.
give that guy a hand right there. He
right.
comes to the National Finals Rodeo because he's like most of us. He just flat
One more
loves
Wrangler
the
card.
business.
Suzanne McGinnis, Crum, Texas.
Right there. Perfect. We have some Justin Boots. This is the Bent Rail Collection. Joe, who these going to?
Lucille Pepper.
Lucille,
Once
are you
again.
here? Where are you, Lucille?
She's
Coming
on the
right
right
over
over
there.
somewhere usually.
Perfect, yep. This is for Lucille. This is also Justin Boots. This is the Gypsy,
All right.
the Roper Gypsies, Donnie.
Okay, well, this will go to Jim Hill, Goldendale, Washington.
Jim, are you here?
Well, the lights
Going
are bright. I don't want to
once.
see anything. Jim Hill,
Going twice.
you missed it.
Pull out another one there, Joe.
What
for-
about Jan Hull, Lebanon, Oregon?
Jan, are you here?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
right,
right
over
there.
You bet.
Right
Coming.
over here, perfect. The Range 702, gentlemen.
I mean,
Get it-
Joe and I, you got to be quick because Joe and I are used to doing things 8 seconds or less.
That's right. Pick us one right here. Somebody needs to go shoot.
They can go
Oh,
shoot
the
a fif-
Range?
The
Yes.
range. Who's
Cool.
going?
This is right down the street. And this is Ray Benally, Winter Rock, Arizona. Ray, you've been here before, but you win tonight. Where you at? Get to go shoot the gun, shoot yourself.
Ooh, bad
No,
night for not
Going
being here.
once.
I don't see Ray.
Are you here? Going once, going
Winter
Rock.
twice.
You know, they found him at the bar last night.
He's
Well,
there
too
again
bad.
tonight.
Then he better not be going shooting a 50
Yeah, who we
caliber.
got?
Yeah. Nope, that
Nope.
was another one. Already won one.
Okay.
Reach in there, Donnie.
About Ken Salazar, Winslow, Arizona. Ken, you in here?
He's at the bar with him, probably.
Ken Salazar, once, twice, 3 times, you're out.
Gone.
Last.
Julie Gagnon, Manistee,
That's
California.
right, Donnie.
She's
Manistee,
here.
California.
Right back
She's
there.
here.
Here we go.
Yep.
Third time's a charm.
We have a gift certificate for Resistol. They've been very, very good to us here at National Finals tonight, Donnie.
Cody Guillory, Innisfail, Alberta. You come? Is that you, Cody?
Where is he? Yep,
Yep,
coming right back
coming right
over there.
there.
Right
All
over
right.
there, Tracy. We have
They sang
Montana.
"Oh Canada" tonight. I'm glad y'all are here.
Montana Silversmith. Earrings right here, Joe.
Darren Lettery or Littery.
From where? From California.
Huntington Beach,
That shit-
California.
Yeah, let's just all Huntington Beach. We're the Huntington Beach bad boy.
All right, got the earring
Perfect.
going in the right place. Next up is
Boyd's got the
the
rodeo
best
vest.
vest in town. Besides the ones my mother-in-law makes.
Oh, they're
Yeah,
beautiful.
Yeah. How about Carl Graham, Whitehall, Montana? All right. I think that's the home of Sean Davis, too. Yeah, come on down here, Carl.
We have this Boyd gaming duffel bag.
How about Lori Lee from Decatur, Texas?
Lori Lee.
Lori Lee from, come on up
Perfect.
here and get
Come
this.
over here.
Hey, thank you.
Ader
Outstanding.
from Decatur.
All right.
Draw the guitar, Donnie.
And now we have the
That-
Fender guitar that is signed by George Strait.
Oh, drum roll.
Lay it on us, Donnie.
That was Benally, who's still at the bar.
The winner is
About Connie Braden, Homestead, Montana.
Connie. Are you here?
Connie Braden, Homestead, Montana.
George
Are
Strait
you
signed
here?
guitar going once.
One.
Oh my, she'll be sick about this. Grab another one, Donnie.
Don't you do it, Boyd. Okay, Chris Lardine, Malad, Idaho.
Are you here?
It's Chris, K-R-I-S-T.
You folks that come to the show should really start signing up.
Going once, going twice. Boy, they're just going to be sick on this guitar.
Last time, or we auctioned it off.
Anita Benton, Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Yeah,
Right there
she's
she
here.
Anita
is,
right
right
there.
there.
She's
All
jumping up
right.
and down back there.
The daddy of them
Cheyenne.
all, Cheyenne.
Right over there. And you got her Wyoming shirt on and everything. I'm liking that. Right,
right.
there's the guitar.
If Dan Miller would have drawn that name, I thought it would
That
have
would
been
have
rigged.
been rigged. Yep. Congratulations. We thank you all for
Good night,
coming tonight. We
everybody.
want to tell you that upstairs
y'all
the
for coming.
Bucking Ball is going on. We hope you go up and take part of that. But thanks for coming 2 more nights here of National Finals tonight. Thank you.
And attending the show. We hope you enjoyed this presentation of National Finals tonight at the Gold Coast, where all the Cowboys go to the rodeo. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow, same time, same place. This has been a presentation of Boyd Gaming, riding for the brand. Fun isn't over yet. We invite you to head upstairs for Gary LeFew's legendary Bucking Ball. Live music and dancing with Las Vegas favorites Scotty Alexander and Tempered Steel Union. Plus this weekend features Brett Owens and Parma Lee. Beer and drink specials and best of all, no cover charge. We're gonna dance and party till the cows come home at the Bucking Ball.
What I do